Some sad news this Saturday morning as the Vikings announced quote, "We are absolutely devastated to announce legendary Minnesota Vikings head coach and Hall of Famer Bud Grant has passed away this morning at age 95. We, like all Vikings and NFL fans, are shocked and saddened by this terrible news." And Bud Grant, 95, that is a long and very full life, and Bud Grant did get the most life out of living, and he was a fantastic head coach for the Vikings, an absolute legend. The term legend and icon gets thrown around too much, but Bud Grant was a legendary icon. He really was. 158 wins, the winningest coach in team history, 19th on the all-time NFL coaching wins list, and also badass, like we know, where it was -6 with wind chill for that wild card game against the Seahawks, and Bud Grant just comes out there in the polo shirt. I love it. He was 88 years old at the time, man. But he took the Vikings to 4 Super Bowls, including 3 and 4 seasons from the 73 to 76 season, which I think is extremely underrated accomplishment. But the thing about Bud is that it was just more than football with him. It was really about working hard, having respect for yourself and for others, and he knew that there was a lot more to life than football, even though football was obviously very important and he was very good at it. He always stressed with coaches and players spending time with their family, spending time away from the game. I mean, Bud was a very avid hunter and fisherman, and he would constantly get after it, off season, during the season, everything. And Bud, like I said, especially when people pass away when they're older, if they've lived a good and fulfilled life, it should be more of a celebration. And Bud Grant certainly lived a very full and prosperous life. And also, his story is so unique. There will never be another athletic story like Bud Grant, so he was a 3-sport star with the Gophers: football, basketball, baseball. He was drafted by the Lakers, Minneapolis Lakers, won a title with them. You know who the GM of the Lakers was at the time? Sid Hartman. His best friend Sid Hartman, which is hilarious, man. And then he was also drafted by the Eagles. He played 2 years in the NFL for Philly. Then he went to the CFL because they offered more money. Just imagine a world where the CFL offers more money than the NFL, which is great, man. But that's where he got into coaching with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers before he came to the Vikings. He's a CFL and NFL Hall of Famer. It's just amazing. And one of the things I love most about Bud is that he was still so active as he got up there in age. He was always going to events, doing charity events, doing appearances, and everything. And plus, he had an office at Winter Park and then TCO Performance Center Bar and Grill, where he's basically coach emeritus. And respect to some of the newer coaches for the Vikings. They took his counsel, and they took his advice. And Bud was certainly took on a bit of a mentor role for some of these younger guys, and obviously he had a ton of wisdom to pass on, and just amazing that he would pay it forward like that and still be involved. And again, that's what adds up to living a very fulfilled life. Living in service for others. Your life will be complete, and Bud certainly did that over his 95 years. And all right, so I've told this story a couple times on here, but all right, so when Bud Grant was doing all of those garage sales, it was really cool. He had tons of memorabilia stacked up throughout the years, and it was an event, and it was a thing for a couple of years. And when the wife and I were looking around for our first house, was this 7-8 years ago? We actually looked at a place in Bloomington, and when we were looking around the house, it was a nice. It was a nice house, like a ranch style house, 4 bedrooms, 2 baths. It's on a cul-de-sac, quiet street, that whole thing. Where it's I was looking around, and it's this area looks kind of familiar. I couldn't put my finger on it. We ultimately, didn't go after the house, and then it turned out, it was in Bud Grant's neighborhood. And I remember the house because I remember seeing it from all the media coverage from the garage sale. So I could have been Bud Grant's neighbor. I could have went over and was hey, Bud, do you have a cup of sugar that I can borrow? I don't know, man. I don't know, but again, like we said earlier, the terms legend and icon get thrown around way too much, but Bud Grant was a legend. He was an icon, and overall, he was just a really good man. And there's a saying that it's it's easier to be a great man than a good man. And Bud Grant was obviously great at his profession, but just in life, like he was just a good dude, like high character, high, just everything. Just everything, man. And, if we all could be a little bit more like Bud Grant, I think the world would be a better place. So, rest in peace, Coach. Bud Grant passes away at the age of 95.